Welcome to our live on Networking Now India. Hi to everyone joining in. Today we're talking a bit of a different topic, but something very exciting and something which is something we should all have knowledge about, especially in times like this. I'm talking to the team at Savage and Palmer. I'm talking to Pinkesh and Hoshang, both a 20-minute slot each. This is going to be great to know more about how startups, SMEs can manage, their business at a time like this, cash flow, taxation, how whatever the government has announced benefits us, what we can do to take different measures. So I think this is really important for everyone, to definitely watch this. Let me tell you a little bit about Pinkesh, who will be joining us first. Pinkesh is the VP at Savage and Palmer. He is a CA with about 9 years of experience and has catered to around 300 corporate clients over the years from every sector. So I'm just going to get him on. I do have a few questions for him, but please feel free to ask your questions in the live as well so that I can ask him. Hi to everyone saying hi. Good to see everyone here. Hi, Pinkesh.
Hi.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, I can't hear you very well actually.
Okay.
Can
Let
you
me
just... Yeah.
Is it better now?
Yeah. Way better.
Okay, awesome.
How are you doing? How's the lockdown going for you?
All okay, yeah. Little
Yeah.
crazy. Work from home, talking to clients, advising them. Going well, actually.
I think at this point, everyone needs all the advice we can get. When we were discussing to do this topic, a lot of people have messaged me today saying, thank you because we don't know what's happening. So
Good to know.
I think it's good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. And I know
No problem.
we have
Anytime.
Hoshang joining us later as well to speak about
Sure.
a different aspect of this. But I'm going to start by asking you to tell us a little bit about you. How did you get, with Savage and Palmer, and what have you been doing? You've been in this practice 9 years now.
Yeah, so I cleared my CA back in 2011. The idea was to join a startup where I could grow, explore more, talk to clients, right? So, like before Savage and Palmer, I used to work in Themis, and this company got took over by Savage and Palmer like couple of years back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. Like the idea to start the company was to enable entrepreneurs grow their business so that they can focus on getting in more sales rather than handling any back end function, right? So whether it is your compliance, your accounting, your advisory, etc., all of it would come into play from our end. Eventually, the idea is to add more services like marketing or recruitment, because when we spoke to business owners recently, we realized that apart from just finance, like these are the other areas which they would like our help as well. So yeah, I mean that's the whole idea of creating Savage and Palmer.
Yeah, and it's pretty annoying for like an entrepreneur, I've realized, to look into everything. I think that it's good, like you said, you focus on the marketing and bringing new clients on board and leave the rest to you.
Yes.
So I think that's important. But today, of course, we're talking about, how you're building your business during a crisis and how you can really manage your time better, manage your cash flow better. So I'm going to start by asking you a few questions. If anyone has questions, they can leave it in the live. I'll ask Pinkesh as we go. The first thing that I want to ask you is, in a time like this, how can small businesses manage their cash flow in a much better way than they are probably already doing?
Sure. Okay, as you said, right, like things are quite crazy at the moment with businesses where revenue levels have dropped down by literally 70 to 80%, if not more. So people are planning to manage their cash flows, which includes managing their rent, electricity, salary, all these fixed expenses as well, right? So I was reading one article today, right? So in India, it has about 65 million MSME employing over 150 million people.
Okay.
Right? So about 35% of them are, planning to shut down their business because they don't see themselves evolving anytime soon. Maybe a break of 6 months, 1 year is like short, right? So after talking with about 300 odd clients, which include startups and SMEs, it's a great learning actually overall for us to, understand how people are how to improve your cash flow, right? One is either you increase your sales which is very unlikely at this point. Second would be to
Very
improve your
unlikely.
collection. Right, improve your collections, right, which I will discuss separately because we have good points on those aspects as well. And third is, of course, reduce cost. So out of these three elements, cost reduction is very important, right? So let's say I'll give you a few examples. Let's say rent. So renegotiating rent during this time is a key factor, as you know that encompasses a minimum of 10 to 15% of your overheads. I'm sure
Yes.
many of you all must have already called the landlord and understood, okay, how we are moving forward with the arrangement. But there are 2, 3 points which are very important to keep in mind for people who have still not done it, as yet. So first is like check your contract, right? There is
Yeah.
a clause called Act of God called force majeure clause.
Force
Yeah. So
majeure,
if
yeah.
this, yeah, so if this clause exists, there's a high chance that you get a massive relief from your rent. But if not, then you can rediscuss putting this clause into your revised
For the
agreement
future. Yeah.
for the future. Yeah, and before you call your landlord, make sure that you understand the entire landscape of the situation. So it is very important that, okay, what does your landlord want? How badly they have been affected by the pandemic? What is your power to pay? How much reduction will your landlord be okay with? And most important, have other offices in your building renegotiated with the landlord, and on what terms, right?
Yeah.
All these things are very critical. And once you
Yeah.
have clarity on all these points, you can call the landlord straight up, assure him that, boss, you are gonna stay long term, with him. So there has to be some workout, right?
Yeah.
And one more good idea is to kind of adjust your rent against security deposit, which you must have paid. At least 4 to 6 months of deposit any landlord would expect for a commercial premise, right?
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
idea is, okay, cool, adjust my next 2 months rent on the security deposit provided. Later on, I will repay it back, reimburse it well
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
time. So yeah, this was one of the example of rent. The main important um, cost is also salary cost,
Big
right?
time. Yeah.
So it is obviously advisable to retain your staff. Now, it becomes a very subjective call which businesses are taking depending on your fund availability, your past surplus, and your
Yeah.
future cash flow, right?
Yes.
So basically, there are three approaches according to my understanding. I have observed and I have experienced with our clients. The
Okay.
first approach which people are following is the socialist approach, right? Like pay how much ever you collect, but don't fire anyone. So either from your past surplus or from your ongoing cash flow, if the business has just started picking up, it's good to kind of retain staff and kind of bear something out of pocket as a business owner.
Yeah.
So 60 to 65% of our clients fall into these categories, and these are mainly clients who are SMEs, which is a family account, can afford keeping staff. The second following is on hold approach. So here the job is secured,
Yeah.
but then your employment goes on hold until the situation comes back to normalcy. So
So
now
no salary.
no salary for that period because the businesses can't afford any payout because they are stuck and the businesses are shut like for
Yeah.
the next few months and there is no clarity, which is the worst part, right? So
Yeah.
20 to 25% of our clients fall under this category
Okay.
currently.
Okay.
And the last approach, which is the last resort, is laying off staff, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
And if you see from other perspective, people who are undergoing this stress, the idea can also be downsizing from the current operations. So let's
Yeah.
say if you are a restaurant outlet with 20 all across the city, the idea is to get that 20 down to let's say 5 or maybe 7 or 10, and then kind of take it up as and when things get better, right, and rehire them. So
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
the overall situation is. I would say about 3 to 5% of our clients are going through this level of stress. Mainly
Yeah.
hospitality sector, real estate, fashion, accessories. All these industries have impacted like crazy.
Yeah, because I think that it is a tough choice you have to take, where we thought this would only last for 15 days. It's almost coming to 3 months now. And I'm sure it's pretty difficult for people to be paying salaries through this. But like you
Yeah,
said, I think the best possible way is holding on to the person, or maybe just a salary cut. Because I
yeah,
think that people also can't just go from getting a salary monthly to nothing. That's also pretty
agree.
scary
Yeah,
on the other side of it. But
yeah.
thank you for explaining that so well. Whoever's listening, if you have any questions, please ask. I have a few more for Pinkesh before I take them, but please ask them in the comments. The next thing I want to
So,
ask you is also, how do you manage? How can we manage our, collections better when people can't, like when you can't get paid? So basically,
yeah.
how do you manage your collections when people can't pay?
Of course. Yeah. So again, collections is one of the
These are
most
all
challenging tasks.
questions that I'm sure people are thinking about. I've got so many DMs of people saying, this is a topic that's much needed because it's tough. It's tough.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, because we have spoken to, all our clients, we have kind of learned through them and through this whole process, right?
Yeah.
So like there are a few ideas how to go about collecting money in a
Yeah.
better manner. First is invoice diligently. Make sure that there are no errors in making invoices, and the invoices are sent on time. So whoever who also has an excuse of delaying your payment, I mean, this point takes care of it. Uh, Again, most important thing here is to use and leverage technology, right? So there are a lot of payment gateways, example Razorpay, etc. Right, where you can just send that link to your client, and because offices are closed, any operational challenges which they would face, like, oh, my checkbooks are in offices, or we don't have an NEFT facility. There, you just send a simple link, and through their debit card, they can transfer the amount to your bank account. So it's
Yeah.
as easy as that. But I mean, people have still not explored this, so it's a good innovation. Even we have learned, through this whole bad times.
Yeah.
Uh, right. If you're a subscription model, you can get the ECS facility from all your clients, so that the payment comes auto, credit
Auto.
in,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? Again, constant follow up is the key, right? Through all channels, and again, escalations is must. In case if someone is not responding, so the accountant needs to actually escalate it to the business owner.
Yeah.
I know it becomes a little awkward to call the other person, but again, like right now, the relationship coming into play is very important, and that's how
Absolutely.
like you will be able to recover the money from the market. You never know what is the other person's scenario is going to change in
Yeah.
future. So it's
Yeah.
always better to take that cash in. So I would advise, like, follow these simple approach. And lastly, but not least, one can incentivize debtors by giving discounts, right? In order to release payments much faster or on due dates.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because right now you need the cash more than anything else.
Yeah.
Right? And again, if possible, this is not a direct point, but I can still link it here. Any old inventory or out of fashion inventory, you can plan to, sell it off, and try to get the money in as cash, in a
Yeah.
discounted manner, right? So again, that's something which can be really of good help, to a business owner.
I think a lot of people that have any FMCG product which is not close to the expiry date, what's happened is, I
Yeah,
think the times have changed so much. People are willing to just get that stuff delivered home, so you can make direct sales to the consumer by just
sure.
WhatsApp. So I think that's a great way
Yeah,
also. But what you said is
yes.
absolutely right. Initially I noticed that a lot of people were just not paying, using this as an excuse. I'm
Yeah,
like, in 10 days of a pandemic hitting, how can you not have money when you knew you had to pay me at the next month?
correct.
So you're
Yeah,
absolutely right. You should write to them constantly, and even escalate it if need be.
yeah,
Um, the other thing I also want to ask you is, there are a lot of employees right now that are not, they're probably not much of work for them to do. When some companies just cannot work from home. And
yeah.
especially, people in the retail, like you said, you manage fashion, accessories. No one was shopping for the last 2 months. Maybe they'll
No one.
start now, but it'll be slow.
Yeah, hopefully,
So
yes.
how do you manage those kind of employees? How do you manage and make them, perform better?
Sure. Yeah, sure. So here the idea needs to be, like analyze your total number of departments, number of employees in each department, and see how much percent their time is vacant, right? In the COVID.
Yeah.
So once we have the above data, we'll be able to redefine the roles and responsibilities of all employees. Where all non-active team members can actually contribute to the team, which is very much operating. So I'll give
Yeah.
you a few examples, right? Let's say an HR department. So for the next few months, no one is gonna hire, right? So
Yeah.
the idea needs to be take their help, get them to do research about potential client profile, which can
Yeah.
help the team, or maybe help your operations team to do money collections. See, people are any which ways frustrated sitting at home, right?
Yeah.
So 3 to 4 hours of support will be always good, and they will also feel part of the company. So that is one bit how we can utilize their time in a much more valuable way. The second thing is training and development, right? So this has become like one of the most important activity that any businesses should do, where the training program set for them needs to have set clear expectations as to what we are trying to achieve from them. Use training as a platform to judge your best resource and prepare for future, right? So also do once a week or once in 15 days a joint con call. Check with the employees how are things, how is their health,
Yeah.
how is their family doing. They feel connected, right? And during this process, of course, you also get to know your work updates as to what's happening, and you can also be communicative about okay, what the company is undergoing, what measures the company is taking to come out of this situation, right? So I think these all important elements helps in smaller manner, but if you see all these small things turns out to be like very positive and impactful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also, I'm sure this is a good time for companies to take into consideration that, like you said, two things. One, you can do, you know how you do retreats usually, but you can do like company brand building on Zoom, which is so nice because
So
everyone has the
yeah.
time. And also using the resources for something else. You never know what could come of it.
Yes, yes, yes. Like
Yeah.
even I'll give you examples in our company. We do a lot of employee engagement activities. So every week
Yeah.
there are 2 events which we conduct, like how you said, which helps us to kind of be in touch, motivate, and encourage the staff. And it's good to know like in this time as to what's happening, because this is the real time when you get to know people personally. Because otherwise, like you are just in a professional relationship with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
good to
Absolutely. Yeah.
be in touch.
Absolutely. So the last thing I want to ask you is also, we've had so many announcements from, about MSMEs and, how we can avail of so many benefits. But, the most question I've got on my platform in the last 5 days is how do we avail of these benefits and what are the benefits? So if you could
Sure.
just, touch upon that and tell us, because this is something everybody wants to know.
Sure, sure. Okay, so first thing first, what is an MSME? It's a micro, small, and medium enterprise, right? So all manufacturers and service providers can avail to this benefit. If you're a trader or a wholesaler, then this benefit is not available.
Yeah.
And even if you're a proprietorship firm, you can still avail this benefit. So it's not important that, oh, you need a company or you need an LLP or anything of that sort, right? So the category, the way how you can, register for it is very simple. Everything is online. You just have to apply for it with your PAN card, Aadhaar card, etc. And then you get your certification in max 24 hours,
Okay.
right? So it's that simple. Now, talking few things about the benefits of MSME. So let's say any buyer of goods or service from an MSME business, right? If they don't pay the dues in 45 days, then they are liable to pay interest, which is like 3 times more than a bank interest rate, which is good, right? So like the interest is safeguarded in that
Yeah.
manner.
Yeah.
The finance is also easily available. Like you can, get collateral free loans from the banks. And if you're, so basically the government has also set up an emergency credit, which has been allowed to businesses from banks and NBFCs up to 20% of their entire outstanding as on 29th of Feb. Right. So
Yeah.
again, people can take benefit of this facility as well. Then there are subsidies on patent registration, trademarks. You can also opt for reduced electricity bills. So talk to your electricity vendor and see if they can avail you this benefit of reduction in electricity cost. right?
Okay.
So again, these are small things, but at the end, every small savings also help,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. So
So for the
currently,
business,
which website
yeah.
can they go on? Sorry to cut you there. Which website can they go on, or do they need to do it through a third party like you?
No, so I mean, we of course can help, any of the business owner, but for MSME, there is a special MSME, .gov as a website which has been created where they can self opt for it as well. So it's very
Okay,
simple, like
super.
just go in and upload the documents and you get your registration. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, I mean, apart from the normal benefits for MSMEs, there are other relaxations in the due dates extension, which any
Yeah.
business owner can take as well, like your GST due dates, your income tax due dates, or ROC due dates. Everything has been extended, right? So maybe the business owners can reach out to their accountants and CAs and check whether everyone is availing that extension benefits or no. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so overall, I think the government is doing its bit, but at the end of the day, I would say the idea or overall, the feel of the market is there's not much benefit seen from the government's perspective because everything is in the form of loan and not like money put into your bank account.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, let's see.
Let's hope
Let's
that.
wait.
Yeah, let's hope.
Yeah,
We
let
really can't say anything about that. But I want to ask you before you leave,
yeah.
Pinkesh, how can you help whoever's watching here? Before I bring Hoshang on, how is it that they can get in touch with Savage and Pharma for any of these services that you mentioned even previously?
Sure. So the way how we can help the business owner is to handle their entire backend, whether it is their accounting function, their compliance function, reporting aspects, like your P&L, balance sheet, cash flow, or maybe do your marketing at the backend, including social media, or website development. And of course, apart from that, there are other products like even calling debtors and doing accounts receivables for you, right? And things like recruitment as well. So all these services clubbed together, all of it would help a business owner to focus on growing their business. They can reach out to our website. There's a contact details, and like we'll be happy to assist them from our end.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Pinkesh, for joining us. I'm going to let you go now
Pleasure,
and get
pleasure. Yes.
Hoshang join us right after this. It was great
Thanks.
talking to
Bye.
you. Stay safe.
Same here. Bye. Take
Bye.
care.
Guys, so now we have Hoshang, who's also from the team of Savage and Palmer. He is the head of sales and marketing. This session is not over, so don't go away. I'm just getting him back on. I hope that you enjoyed the session with Pinkesh. He has a lot of knowledge, and Savage and Palmer work with so many companies to help them streamline their work so much better. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. So also till Hoshang comes on, no, unfortunately Mihir isn't joining today, but we have Hoshang and Pinkesh taking over for the team. To tell you a little bit about Hoshang, he's the head of sales and marketing at Savage and Palmer. He has worked over the past few years on building their sales and marketing team from scratch and has that experience understanding the challenges in the same. So we're going to talk to him about a few different questions that I had. I'll just get him back. Yeah. I hope you guys are enjoying the session and making some notes because, okay. It's important that we all know what we can do to save money right now. Hi, Hoshang.
Hi, Sean. How are you doing?
How are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing
Thank you
good.
for
I'm doing
joining
good.
us.
Thank you so much.
We just had Pinkesh explain the first half of everything, and I was just telling everyone how you are going to bring on the marketing and sales aspect of it. So thanks
Exactly.
for joining us today.
Yep.
Just if you could give us a little brief about what you do at Savage and Palmer and when you joined us.
Sure. So I actually joined Savage and Palmer about 2 or so years back. I actually started working in the sales team when we were about 3 individuals altogether. And now we've grown significantly into various services, different aspects, all of these things. So it's been a great journey. I mean, working with Savage and Palmer, growing with Savage and Palmer, of course, as the company grows too.
Yeah, great. So good to have you here. And today, of course, we are in
Sure.
tough times, and we are discussing
Definitely.
what we can do, to make them better. And Pinkesh really explained well about how we can even save costs and what we
Sure.
can do in terms of applying, onto the government website and stuff. So I'm going to ask
Correct.
you a few questions. If anyone has any
Sure.
questions, I'll leave them in the live for Hoshan. I'll ask them. But what I'm going to start by asking you, the first thing is, how can an entrepreneur focus on sales right now? So what's your take on this?
Sure, sure. So before I get into that question, Shan, let's just take a quick overview of what's happening, right?
Yes, yes.
Now, businesses, of course, are selling B2C, B2B. There's a mix of both also. What's happening with B2C is that most people are generally, now it's getting it's getting a bit more relaxed because deliveries are opening, e-commerce marketplaces are opening, etc. So that's good. That's some good news to hear, of course.
Yeah.
And when it comes to B2B, of course, the major focus is more on networking and creating awareness in the market, right? Because as of now, nobody really has the paying power to, take on any new service or aspect altogether. So to quickly jump into your question on how entrepreneurs can focus on sales right now, essentially what most businesses that have a sales team need to do is shift their focus from actually closing deals to building a pipeline and nurturing leads, right? As of now, of course, as I said before, nobody is going to really have the paying power to jump in, pay for any service, etc., or even a product altogether.
Yeah.
So let's take that step by step, right? Firstly, anyone as a business owner should know that right now it's going to be difficult for them as well as the sales team to close any amount of revenue. Those that come out and actually close are classified as heroes, in today's world. And it just means that your team is going to get demotivated, and that's going to lead to a lot of mental frustrations, right? So just imagine a bunch of extroverts sitting at home all day looking at the same people. It's just a recipe for disaster altogether.
Yeah, me.
So hence you need to constantly focus on motivating and engaging your sales team. You need to communicate that you understand how difficult it is and how difficult the situation is, and realign expectations with their targets, right? Because we all know that nobody is going to close right now. Secondly, what you have to do is you have to shift their mentality from creating a bucket or from closing sales to actually creating a bucket of leads that they can possibly nurture. And they need to start focusing on just nurturing leads and piquing interest. And I'll tell you how this can help, right? If you focus on building a pipeline of leads today, once things open up, when people actually have the paying power, you'll be able to close a huge amount of revenue that can easily cover up for all that you've lost during your downtime, right?
Yeah.
Another way to sort of create a bucket of customers is to let your target audience experience your service or product. For example, if it's a software, you should let them focus more on, you should actually give them massive discounting so that they actually get onto the hook. They are actually using the software, and then later when they actually have the propensity to pay, they will come, use the software, continue with the software. And major players are doing this, right? Zoho, HubSpot, CRMs. They're doing massive discounting. They're giving free trials. They're doing all of these activities to just make sure that people are coming on, experiencing the product or service. Now, say for example, B2C, right? You're taking, the idea should be more on, either placing pre-orders on your website. We all know that delivery is not working at the same speed it would before. Although it started a bit, but placing pre-orders, giving people massive discounts, giving them free samples, all of these activities help them, create a little bit of brand recall so that they can actually, purchase from you in the future. And last but not the least, this is a little more internal when it comes to a company itself, is to actually tweak your internal processes with what the market needs. Meetings now have turned into calls, video calls, longer processes like signing an agreement should now be changed to, a digital acknowledgement as such, for the timing, so that there's no roadblock, for the customer to actually close with you. So for example, you can use DocuSign if, say, for example, you're signing a document with any of your clients. It just makes life much more easier, right? So that's where most business owners should focus on with their team to make sure, that sales can be better once things open up altogether.
I couldn't agree with you more. I've been saying this from day one to anyone that asks me that, if you are privileged enough to say you don't have a problem with cash flow at this point, and all you have is time, use that so positively that once this all is over, you really come out in a new, we kind of ignore so many things because we don't have the time on a daily basis. This is a great time to kind of put the rest of it together. I'm sure many people that must have panic called Savage and Palmer in a time like this and said, get my, sorry, I wasn't paying attention, get my taxes in order.
A couple of people, yes, we have.
Because we
we've had a
ignore
lot
we
of
ignore
people.
these things on a daily basis. But of
Definitely.
course, talking to you, we're talking about marketing also. So what
Correct,
do you
correct.
feel is for a business owner, an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
what can they do to focus on marketing at this point for a better outcome once this is all over?
Okay, so I had recently actually read an article by Forbes, okay, that stated that internet usage has actually gone up by 70%. That not only means that there's a lot of more online traffic, it also means that the average amount of time spent on the internet by a single person has drastically increased on social media as well as on streaming platforms, etc. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, that's the case, right? Everyone will be at home, everyone has access to the internet,
Yeah.
they want to pass their time, etc. But still, what most businesses are doing wrong is that they're focusing more on online advertisements, right, in this period. Now, the worst part about that is, one, since you're spending a lot on online advertisements, the return on investment, the ROI on that. So, say for example, you spend 10,000 rupees on an online advertisement. The return on investment on that can be zero to minimum in this period right now.
Yeah.
But what they're not doing is actually focusing on creating a lot of brand awareness. Now, I know for a fact that, creating brand awareness can take anywhere between 8 to 12 months. You've got to constantly post information, etc. But what happens is, at least when it gives you a return, they're focusing a lot on lead generation, not on
Yeah.
brand awareness. But when it
Yeah.
actually gives you a return, the return and the ROI on that, the return on investment on that is phenomenal. So the idea here is not to, just focus on lead generation. It is also to focus on engaging your sales team, right? Sorry, I just had to adjust my camera.
That's fine.
Apologies. Okay.
No, that's
So it's also, So it's also to focus on, creating a little bit of brand awareness. And I'll tell you why
Most
this is key,
important
right?
at a point
Exactly.
like this. Yeah.
Exactly. I'll tell you why this is key, right? Once awareness is created, awareness leads to interest leads to desire, and finally, desire leads to action, which is a purchase. It's just like driving a car, right? You can't go to the fourth gear. You first have to go to the first, second, third, fourth, and then you're at full speed, right? So the idea here is to understand what your target audience likes. What do they want to see in terms of valuable content? Pick that niche and start focusing on constantly putting that content out, right? You can use assets such as blogs, webinars, videos, podcasts. You can even push it out via LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's much more easier to push out content today, right? And I think one saying that really goes well here is out of sight, out of mind, right? So if your
Absolutely.
competitor is doing the same,
Yeah.
he's bagging those prospects much more faster than you because he has a better brand awareness strategy. And just a quick disclaimer here, of course, you won't see results for at least the next 6 to 12 months because you're organically trying to create brand awareness. Think of it
Yeah.
like watering a plant, right? It takes at least a few months for
Yeah.
you to be able to see the first few leaves sprout.
Yeah.
The same way, putting out relevant and content consistently is key. And you will see returns after a good period of time. But what it does is it will create brand recall. The person on the opposite end will recall, remember, and will come back, at a future point in time to sort of purchase from you. And the second thing I think a lot of businesses need to focus on right now is SEO, right? Search engine optimization. Making sure that your website ranks on the top of Google. And I'll tell you why, right? About 68% of traffic that comes onto Google today generally clicks on the first 3 links that you see, on Google.
Yes.
And just imagine missing out on that traffic, right? It's like being in a side alley. It's like having a shop in a side alley instead of having it on a main road like Linking Road or something of the sort.
Yeah.
But if your website does rank good, it's like, it's crazy because you keep getting leads, you'll keep getting impressions, you'll be able to draw in more actions.
Yeah.
And this is very important for business owners today, especially to move from that offline stage to online, because I think for the next 6 to 12 months at least, there's going to be a lot of things happening online altogether.
Absolutely agree with you. So well put, Harshang. Thank you for that. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was at this point. You mentioned such a good thing that if you don't adapt to these times, your competitor
Exactly.
will do it before you. And
Exactly.
at a point like this, when people aren't able to go out and shop and go to a restaurant, what we want is stuff that comes to our doorstep. And you're willing
Correct.
to try any brand because you're willing to say, let me try this. If it's good, I've never heard of it before, but it's coming home to me. It seems safe. My friends are ordering.
Exactly.
So I think everyone should move with times. And, like you said, it's more about brand awareness and getting people to try or know about your product.
That's
than
so
just
true. Yes.
sitting in the back and saying, I'll wait 4 months. Because
Definitely.
you'll really
Definitely.
lose out if you have done that.
For sure. Of course. Definitely.
So, of course, the last thing I wanted to ask you as well is, what is a good way to generate revenue right now?
Of course.
Yeah, this is the
So I
most
think,
important, I think.
of course, of course.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to finding alternate revenue channels, the first and foremost thing that entrepreneurs should realize or understand is that a service or product that used to be sold pre-COVID, okay, is not something that can work under the lockdown, right? There's certain things that will change, but their buying decisions will change, etc. So take, for example, you're selling luxury items, right? Not many people right now have the propensity to pay. And even if they buy a luxury item, where will they show it, right? I mean, where will they wear it? Where will they go out
Yeah.
with it, etc. That's where people need to where business owners need to constantly focus on, changing and finding alternate revenue channels. Hence, every entrepreneur out there should focus on what the market needs, should understand what the market needs, and leverage their brand to push out those additional
Yeah.
services or products. Let me give you a quick example, right? So Zomato, Swiggy, all of us know about them. They've actually looked at the market and understood that people now have shifted their mind from eating out from restaurants, because they don't buy it much now, to actually purchasing groceries. Now there are two components to their team, right? One is the restaurants that they work with. The second is a massive delivery team, right? And what they did is they repurposed the entire team, and they also had them deliver groceries, and literally adjusted their sales in the direction of the wind, right?
Yeah.
To make sure that they can deliver the same, generate a certain amount of additional revenue during this time period. Even for us, actually, at Savage and Palmer, while people were ready to sign on for accounting services post the lockdown, etc., we realized that not many companies right now were able to collect maximum amount of money from their debtors because of the situation altogether, as Pinkesh must have said before. Hence, we created an add-on service to actually do debtor collections, and that has seen a lot of traction over the past couple of weeks. So the idea here is, one, to identify the change in buying habits of your customers, what they're looking for, why their habits have changed, etc. And two is incorporate that as a service product and then push it out, through your necessary channels, because you already have that established.
Yeah.
And that is how you can actually shift to opening up new revenue streams, and that can combat the revenue decline that you've currently had. That's possibly beneficial for the future too, right? Because when things open up, you have, instead of just X and Y, you have X, Y, Z to sell,
Yes.
and it can generate more revenue for you too.
Absolutely. I hope that everyone that's listening, I hope that these are points you've noted down, because this is so important. I also want to ask you, before I let you go,
Sure.
how does Savage and Palmer help, a small business owner or a brand, what are the different services that you provide in terms of marketing and sales? Like you did mention stuff like SEO
Yeah.
and,
Yep.
Pinkesh had mentioned website and stuff like that. So if you could just touch upon that.
Sure. So I think the basic premise of Savage and Palmer from the very start was to enable entrepreneurship, right? Entrepreneurs today, they are focused, or maybe if you're a marketing, or maybe if you're into fashion, you're only focused into that, right? You don't know
Yeah.
about finance, you don't know much about marketing, you might not know much about collecting money from your debtors, etc. So what we repositioned ourselves as is an entire one-stop solution company that can handle everything for an entrepreneur, because it's very, very important today, and there's a lot of competition out there, right? So the idea here is we handle everything from your accounts to your collections to your payroll to your marketing, to recruitment, even for you if required, so that you as an entrepreneur can actually focus on the one thing that is most important, and that is growing the business, instead of all these other, related activities,
Aspects, yeah.
especially the ones that are compliance and non-related to growing the business altogether.
And most annoying. If you
Yeah,
don't
I completely
understand
agree
it,
with
yeah,
you.
if you don't understand, like I don't understand most of it. If you don't understand it, then you'd rather just leave it to someone else who can do it.
Exactly. Especially a company that has professional experience in it, right? So I think outsourcing now has become a new sort of norm that's coming into place at a very slow pace. But sooner or later, you're going to be outsourcing all of your non-core functions altogether.
Absolutely. So tell me, before I leave you, Hoshang, if you could give us one or two tips in terms of marketing, just to highlight one or two things for everyone before we end the session. Anything from you?
So the first tip I would generally give is do not be lazy when it comes to creating a marketing strategy. We all know
Yeah.
that consistency is key, right?
Yes.
I mean, not the more information, but if you're constantly consistent on putting out information on a timely basis, you're going to attract more people because it's valuable content. As long as you're making valuable content. And the second thing with regards to marketing, and one very important aspect is into your look into your prospects' lives, understand what they read, what they like reading, what they like seeing as content, and then accordingly create that content. Because if you're say if you're doing accounting services and you're writing a blog about a safari, I mean it just doesn't mix and match, right, altogether.
Absolutely.
So those are the 2 pointers I would generally give. I think another thing I would like to add is create a timetable that you will adhere to when it comes to content marketing. Because what happens is within the first week you're not going to get any traction. Be patient. It's going to take at least 8 to 12 months to get at a level where you can say, okay, I have amassed a great number of followers, for my brand altogether.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Hoshank, for these amazing tips.
Thank you so
You and
much.
Pinkesh have, given us all the information that we needed at a time like this. So, guys, if any
Sure.
of you want to get in touch with
Hello.
or if you'd like to just DM me, I can put you in touch with Savage and Palmer at any time. Thank you so much,
Sure.
Hoshank. It was
Thank you
great
so
chatting
much.
with you. Stay safe.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye. See you.